Hey there, it's Christy, the comeback mentor, and I want to share a little more about why the comeback mentor. So, a lot of people ask me why I do what I do and why I call myself the comeback mentor. And to be honest, it was not something I chose, it kind of chose me. There was a season in my life where everything I thought that defined me, like my role, my routines, the people that I was serving, even my dreams within that season started to fall apart. The things that I was really passionate about, the things that drove me, the challenges that excited me because I love a challenge. I thrive in that environment was starting to get dull and I wasn't feeling fulfilled. So I thought, okay, maybe if I apply for another position, things will change and I will, feel like I'm actually invested in what I'm doing and be the person I know myself to be. So that's what I did. And I got the position and I thought, okay, great. I have new challenges. I have a new opportunity. I have new resources that I can be for the people that I'm serving. And there's a challenge. I can make this place better when I when it's time for me to transition out of it. It can be a better place than when I got here. Got in the position with some excitement, but things got dull. I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't being 100% myself and fully invested in being the best I could be in that position. And it tore me up. I felt really hollow inside and I couldn't figure out why in the world why is the passion gone? I could still lead, but not to the best of my ability. I could still serve, but I wasn't serving 100. I could still resource, not as quick. I was slower at resourcing. Somewhere along the line, somewhere, I disappeared. All of the traits, all of the things that I valued within myself had slowly slipped through my fingers, and I could look in the mirror and see Christy, but not the essence of Christy. And one day, in just like total honesty before God, I asked, why? What's going on? Why am I miserable? I literally was miserable because I was not being me. I was not being the best version of myself. And I realized right there that I did not even know how to answer this one fundamental question. Who am I? If no one needs me to be who I am right now, or used to be, or could be, or if I don't need me in the state that I'm in, then who am I? Who am I? And that's exactly where he met me. Not with quick fixes, not with mindset techniques, not with performance pep talks, but with questions, deeper questions, questions that found me when I couldn't find myself. What if what was buried inside of me was never meant to die? The goodness of who I knew myself to be. Why? When did the goodness, the calling, the things about myself, why did they become survival instead of naturally fulfilling? And what if this season is not the end of something, but the reintroduction of who I actually am meant to be? Deeper questions. Those questions didn't just heal me, they undid me. And then they built me back up. They became the language of my heart and eventually the foundation of my work. Because I realized a lot of women in transition, in transition, were lost, thought they were lost, muted, miserable, because who they knew themselves to be in that season that they were transitioning out of felt like they were losing a huge piece of who they were. So who am I now? If I'm not who that person is anymore, then who am I? And that's hard. It's hard to get up every day and be motivated, to be happy, to want to do something, to listen, to move into an opportunity to fulfill your divine dreams. And that's why I created the Comeback Mentor. Not as a coaching brand. I'm not a coach. I invested in coaching certifications, 3 as a matter of fact. They didn't feel right. I went through the first one. Okay. Well, maybe I need to get another coaching certification. So I went after the second one. Midway through, I'm like, this still doesn't feel right. All the while, people are telling me inside the programs, you act more like a mentor than a coach. I've already invested. I've already invested in this process of being a life coach. Nope, we're not going backwards. We're going to keep going. Yeah, it didn't work out because I'm not a coach. I'm a mentor, and there's a huge difference between the two. I'm not knocking coaching, but that's exactly what I didn't need. I needed a mentor. I was a mentor, and I knew I should have known that a mentor is what I needed. I spent 20 years as a mentor inside the positions that I held in my prior season, and I could not figure out that that was exactly what I needed. I needed to be seen. I needed someone who had traveled the path. I needed someone who knew how to connect me to the resource of the dreams that I had that were buried and to help me with my heart restoration. I needed to be reminded of who I was created to be. And here's what I have learned on this journey. You can't think your way into healing, and you can't hustle your way into purpose. Tried it. You have to feel your way forward. One question, one revelation, one holy pause, one connection at a time. And that's what I call comeback conversations. They're not about talking, they're about invitation. Inside a group that I have of ladies that I mentor, Renewed Heart Dreamers, they kind of called me or nicknamed me the Question Queen because I ask the questions that make you dig deeper, that give you revelation, that give you a different perspective, that has grace. What if the ache you feel isn't emptiness? It's an invitation. What dream did you decide to shelve or silence just to feel safe? Where have you been trying to resurrect what God was trying to release? And what new life might begin when you finally stop fighting the pause? Because it's okay to rest. So I'm going to start teaching if I don't close this off. That is a big chunk of my why. And each week here on my channel, you're going to find those deeper conversations and those questions, some reflections. We're going to bring women in who want to talk about their own sacred comebacks. And it's all going to be centered around the truth. We're going to talk about heart healing. We're going to talk about your divine identity, dream awakening, and it's just going to be amazing. So if this resonates, if this is something you're looking for, if this is something you want to say yes to, then subscribe. Hit that bell, settle in, and get ready. We're going to take this journey together. I'm Christy, the comeback mentor. And your story, it's not over. It's just finally beginning to make sense. See you in the next video.